Do one thing every day that scares you. Can you do one thing every day that scares you? Hey, what's up guys? It is Carolina and today is December 18th, one day after the Chilean presidential elections, which were yesterday. And I didn't vlog yesterday because I was too nervous about it. I really avoid talking about politics in my vlogs, so I'm gonna avoid it now. Either way, it's the 18th and I still haven't bought a single Christmas present for anybody in my family. I also considered buying gifts online, but they probably won't arrive on time, so that's that. They keep building more and more buildings in my city. It's insane. It's like nobody builds houses anymore, and I can understand why. It's just more profitable to build an apartment building. The next place where I live, I'm hoping will be a house. That's also why we're building our house in the south of Chile, but also investing in apartment buildings. It's a good business, that's for sure. Hey, what's up guys? I am now at my home office here and I have something really cool that I want to share. I'm catching up with some work, but I wanted to take a quick break from work just to make this video, this part of the video. And there's a really cool concept that I learned as an entrepreneur. And as you probably know, reading books is fundamental part of improving yourself, not just from the business perspective, but also in order to become a better person, smarter if you will, or more knowledgeable, or just to acquire new tools to face your life and face your business. One of said books that I have read over the past couple years is this one, okay? The Choose Yourself Guide to Wealth by James Altucher. I had the pleasure of meeting James recently. I didn't get a photo with him because I felt a bit weird about asking him, but I met him at Louis Howe's book launch party back in October. I read this book last year actually, in 2017. I'm sorry, 2016. I read this book in 2016, and while there are tons of really cool, interesting topics in this book, lots of value in it, one of the things that really stuck with me was this. Okay, what is this, you're wondering? Yeah, it's a little red book. It's not any regular, ordinary book. This is what I call, and I think he calls it the same way, idea dump book. What does that mean? Well, it's a little notebook where you dump ideas, right? So I called it idea dump book for genius ideas that I can't work on right now, but I will in the future. I think that's what it says, right? Yeah, that's right, but I will very soon. I created this little idea book about a year and a half ago. I started with this exercise that he recommends in the book. And by the way, I will soon make a video for you guys where I share the top 25 books I have read that have helped me to become a better person and a better entrepreneur. So look out for that video very soon. So one of the genius ideas in the book was this. You start this little book where every single day you're supposed to write down 10 ideas. And it doesn't matter if those ideas are good or bad, as long as you just write them down. And at the beginning, when I started with this book, I was doing it on a daily basis. And then I kind of lost that daily habit, unfortunately, but now I still do it a couple times a week. And I actually already bought a new one because this one is running out. I already have a new one, which I'm gonna start very soon. I'm just gonna share with you guys a couple of the ideas that I've written here. By the way, there are people who believe that if they share their ideas with other people, they will steal them. And I have to tell you, that's stupid. That's silly. Because ideas, my friend, ideas are crap unless you execute them. So you can have all the genius ideas you want in the whole world and fill 10 of these little books with ideas, but if nobody's executing on them, that's pretty freaking worthless. So for example, one idea I came up with recently was a title for my podcast. And I have been talking about doing a podcast for this entire year. Back in February of 2017, I interviewed John Lee Dumas, and here's just a little clip of our interview right there. And John Lee Dumas is an amazing entrepreneur. He's the founder of Entrepreneur on Fire. He's a podcaster, really admirable guy. I mean, he's published, I don't know, 1,500, 1,600 episodes. I kind of lost track now. But when I interviewed him, he told me, Carolina, like, this is your time, right? Like, this is, why haven't you started a podcast? This is a great chance, a great opportunity for you, especially in Spanish, la la la. And I was like, yeah, you're right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start my podcast. It's been an entire year. Well, okay, 10 months. It's been 10 months and I still haven't done it. So one of my genius ideas is here. And one of the silly things that was holding me back from starting my podcast was that it didn't have a name for it. Well, guess what? Now I do have a name, and I'm gonna share it with you. My podcast, I have actually 2 ideas for podcasts, but the one that I want to launch very soon, like in a more professional way, is gonna be called the Marketing Rockstars Show. The Marketing Rockstars Show. Actually, I have domain names. I'm working on registering the brand and all of that stuff, so I'm really excited about it. I also have a little podcast on Anchor. If you guys know the social network Anchor.fm, I think that's the website, but if you just download the app, I would show you on my iPhone 10, but I still haven't quite figured it out. So I'm still not using it. I'm also not using it because I don't have a protection for it yet. There is. I haven't bought a protection for it yet, a case, I mean, and so I don't want to ruin it, so I'm not really using it 100% yet. So I'm just gonna show you over here. There's a really cool app called Anchor, and I started using it when they launched it. I think it was late 2015, early 2016, I'm not sure, but I've been using Anchor for some time, and every now and again I upload audio to it. Like, it's an audio social network where you can pretty much create a podcast. By the way, my username is Carolina Millan, so you can follow me on Anchor right now, by the way, if you're in it. I'll put the link in the description too. And I created a podcast here that I call .com Woman, because that was another idea that I had that I wrote here, to create a community for women, right? Digital women entrepreneurs. And I called it .com Women, woman, singular, .com Woman. And I registered the domain name and everything. I have a Facebook page, but I haven't quite generated the content yet. So I'm still working on that. And by the way, if you would like to contribute to .com Woman, just leave me a comment here below. The reason I'm calling my official podcast the Marketing Rockstars Show is because if I call it .com Woman, I feel like I would only be able to interview women. Like, it would be weird to interview men in a podcast called .com Woman. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna keep it for another project. And so it's probably going to become a community of women where I'm going to be teaching marketing and entrepreneurship and sales and all of that stuff, and just bring women together, and I'm really excited about that project. So those are just a couple of ideas that I've written here, and by sharing those ideas with you, I'm basically telling you, hey, get your ideas out there. First, get them on a book, get them on a physical piece of paper, train your idea muscle, write 10 ideas a day like James Altucher recommends. At least try to keep up for a week, a month, see what happens, exercise your idea muscle. But then, like I said, the most important part of generating new ideas is executing. So the next step after you write your list of 10 ideas, and this is how I've done it before, you come up with your ideas, and then, like I've done here, then you just circle the ones that you think have potential, or the ones that you really think you are going to implement. Like, for example, this is in Spanish, by the way, but for example here I put read 2 books a month, write a book, which I started doing both of those things. Then I wrote a few here, like create an ebook, add banners on my website, create an online workshop, which I did. I've done several online workshops. Then I put here ideas for my mastermind that I did in Miami of this year, how much I was going to charge and everything. So this has worked really well for me, and I keep it small like this because that way I can bring it with me everywhere. When I travel, in my purse, everywhere. So that's that, guys. That's the concept of the idea book. Let me know what you think about it. Leave me a comment. Tell me if you got inspired now to start your own idea book. And maybe there's a genius idea that you want to share with me in the comments. As long as you're not afraid that people will steal it from you. It's not going to happen. Feel free to share your ideas. There's nothing wrong with sharing. Alright, I gotta get back to work now. Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, this is a good time to do that. Make sure you tap the subscribe button. Leave me a comment and give it a thumbs up. Tap the notifications bell. And I'm requesting a lot of things, but that's it. That's all that motivates me and keeps me going and generating content for you guys. So I would appreciate it. Alright, I just finished the call with one of my favorite clients. She's from Australia, and I have so much fun working with her because she's really enthusiastic and really energetic, and every time we have a call she's like awesome, like with this like awesome feeling that she got value. That really is what drives me when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to coaching and mentoring. Learning with a mentor is just so valuable, and that's why I'm always, you know, not just mentoring people, but investing in my own mentoring, like getting people to mentor me as well. And the mentors that I turn to, some of them, well, are very, very demanded. So last few weeks, it's been tough for me to coordinate calls with my mentors. Anyway, guys, I wanted to also talk to you guys about a little book that I have here on my desk. Do one thing every day that scares you. Can you do one thing every day that scares you? I cannot, actually. It's not that I cannot. It's just I have this book here and I haven't been using it every single day, but there are quite a few pages that I have filled out and talked about stuff that I've done where I was scared. For example, the last thing that I did that seemed impossible was when I went to Boise, Idaho a couple months ago to Russell Brunson's influencer party. When I met Tony Robbins, that was so scary. I gotta tell you, meeting Tony Robbins was, well, it was exciting. It was a dream for me, but it was scary in a good way, you know? So the point of this thing is to do stuff that scares you, but you know, in a good way. Honestly, I'm not doing it every single day. I like being very straightforward with you guys. When I recommend something to you, I recommend it because I do it, but at the same time, if I'm not doing it very consistently every single day, I'm also gonna tell you that. It's the same thing with the idea book that I talked to you about earlier. But these are little things that I've integrated into my routine, and even though they're not happening on my daily routine, I'm sharing them with you with the hopes that you will implement them in your daily routine. And it also helps me get them back into mine, if you know what I mean. The fact that I'm talking to you guys about this stuff really inspires me to go back to this stuff and go back to doing it. So do one thing every day that scares you. I'm going to place the link below this video as well, so make sure you check the description. Now I have to get back to work for a little bit for today, and I'll see you later.